You're tuned in to Kiddy Pink Radio, where black media matters. Keep it locked.
You can't tell me you ain't got no vagina. The vagina is a
Kiddy,
muscle.
you make it.
The vagina.
Kiddy, you make it sound.
Don't interrupt me. Let me finish. The vagina is a muscle, and it's just like this. If I go in the gym and I work out for a number of months, this shit right here will be flashing. The vagina is a muscle. Y'all need to got Kegel exercises. They ain't got pussy weight.
All y'all remain the same. See, you make it sound like all y'all. That's what killing you.
Into the dating world after divorce. This is one of, if not the number one question I get asked from people either going through a divorce or have just gone through a divorce. Number one component. You will know when you have done all the work on you first. Take the time to get to know you. Fall in love with you first. When you get divorced, you have so much baggage and so much trauma that you have to work through. And if you say you don't, you're lying. Or you just don't think you do, and I'm here to tell you, you do. And you know what it was? How I knew I was ready? I reached a point where it didn't matter if I ever met somebody. If I was completely alone the rest of my life, I was happy with that because I was happy with me. I wasn't out there trying to look for my better half. I was already whole. I started dating. There was no expectations on things. There was no, is this the one? Because I went into the relationships just looking for friendships, just trying to get to know people. And then dating became really fun. Of course, you hope you find the one, but there's an amazing power that comes from not meeting somebody though. Because what's very common after divorce is that fear narrative, right? So you'll know when you're ready, when you're not afraid anymore. If you're scared, you need to work on this and this first. And then if you're still scared, do it scared. And look, the truth is, you're probably gonna have some bad dates. Found out that I went on a date with a convicted rapist. Good times. But you brush it off and you talk it up to a story. If you learn to love you and you know you've got your back, then it's just fun. So figure out who you are, what you want, and then go out and just enjoy it. Have a great day.
What's up? How y'all doing today? It is Wednesday. And it is noon o'clock. Thank you all for joining. If you are in the building, please, by all means necessary, do us a favor and hit that share button. What's up? 4-5, where you at, nigga?
I'm right here.
Why you hide?
I'm not hiding.
Oh, don't hide from the people. Don't hide. Don't hide that. Divide that pussy. Sorry. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about something that we really haven't touched on just yet. I'm not a professional. Well, I'll put it like this. I'm not experienced. 4-5 happens to be. Today, we are talking about divorce. What happens after divorce? A lot of times we think well, from the outside looking in, and I even say this about whenever we bury somebody. Shout out to Gifted Nation. What's up, Drink of the Boss, baby? A lot of times we think we leave the funeral thinking that it's over, but it's just begun. And me personally, I feel like divorce and grief go hand in hand because you've lost somebody. So, we're going to get into some things. 4-5. Tell the people what's on your mind.
You said divorce and grief go hand in hand?
Yes. Sometimes.
That's not true. That's not true for women. Don't lie.
How you going to speak for women? You don't have a vagina. There you go again. Always trying to speak for us.
Watch this. Have you ever had a divorce?
No, I've never been divorced, but
I've been with someone. So have you ever heard? Okay. Well, hold on.
Okay.
Have you heard of divorce parties?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. Who you think those are for?
Baby, that ain't nothing but a Band-Aid. A bitch be hurt.
It's always.
That's a Band-Aid. Just like men use other women as their Band-Aid.
Okay, well, listen. You can call it what you want to, but men don't have fucking divorce parties. Anyway, I'm glad you let off with that damn little clip that you let off with, because she right on the money with all of that. You do need to go through all of those things to heal yourself and figure things out. But
I'm
let's
having trouble with your audio.
okay, hold on. Wait a second.
Y'all, please share. It ain't enough people in here. Share. Damn, I sounded aggressive as fuck, didn't
Yeah.
I? My bad. Drink of the
Okay, is
Boss
that better?
said, lot better. Drink of the Boss said, men don't realize their feelings until so much later than women. Drinker, have you been through a divorce?
Well, okay, listen. I don't care nothing about all that. Listen, listen. This is where the part.
Okay.
This is where women should check out men at when it comes to divorce. You need to find out a man's year factor. The year factor matters, ladies. And this ain't even throwing out shit on guy code. This ain't fucking off guy code or nothing. The men can agree with this shit. The year factor matters. Okay? So listen, if a man was married like 1 to 5 years, depending on where it's at in those 1 to 5 years and how much of a relationship this man had before they crossed that line of marriage. Y'all know what I'm talking about, women. You know, because sometimes some of y'all been messing with the dude for 3 to 7 years, and then y'all got married. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about those numbers and all this shit. But if a guy is married 5 years and it was just like a cool little relationship before they was boyfriend, girlfriend, and it was like a few years and boom, they get married, right? You can still look at that as somewhat like kind of a girlfriend age if they ain't got kids and depending on how many kids they had, because the divorce, it just depends on how the divorce ended. But 9 times out of 10, I don't 9 times out of 10, we don't talk about how the divorce is end.
Well, let's talk about it.
What? How divorces end?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the divorces end on all kind of shit. It's not just see. I think the whole red pill thing is, well, who calls for the divorce the majority of the time? And it's not that. That's not the. It's not because the women are calling the divorce the majority of the time. I think a lot of times what we don't think about or realize uh, when it comes to men don't like to admit men don't like to. What man likes to lose, right?
I don't think anybody likes to lose.
Right, right. But nobody, I don't know of a man who wants to take a loss in winning too. You see what I'm saying? Or lose. It's levels of losing when you do this shit, right? So 90, guys don't really fucking want to do that shit. So that's a factor in why women are at the divorce courts or at the divorce attorneys or filing for divorce more than men. I think that's a big factor in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's other factors as well, but without going down through all the factors, all I'm saying is that men who are divorced about, I'm just from the male standpoint, women, if he's been divorced and they was only married 5 years, and if he's within a year to 2 years of that divorce, he probably still trying to shake some shit off, but he's a lot more stable. Hear me out. He is a lot more stable than a man who has spent more than 5 years with this woman. This is why you have heard me say, and I know you heard me say this shit, Kitty, more than once. Marriage should have an expiration on it. The marriage license should. It
Right,
should
right.
expire after 5 years.
Every 5 years. We both
Right.
agreed on that. Yeah. So
Uh,
we can decide, do we really want to keep doing this shit?
right. Um, I mean, every 5 years without penalties and shit. You know what I'm saying? Without fucking up too much shit. But anyway, uh, so just going forward from that, like when you are looking at a guy who's had more than 5 years in, I don't care what not name one of them say, more than 5 years in to a marriage, 90, 90% of the time you're looking at these, there's kids in this and a lot of other things that are going on. There's a lot, and y'all women, y'all know it because y'all be married to us. Y'all be in the divorce because you be in the single category after the divorce too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go through y'all's things. I don't know that end of it. I'm just telling you from the male standpoint. Again, when a guy 6+ years, kids, shit like that, there's a lot of fucking weird ass shit he has to process after he divorces. And in my experience, I can't say across the nation. I don't know the numbers. I'd have to look them up. I've never looked them up before, but y'all know I will. Um, I'll say this: I've had friends that I know that were divorced and immediately couldn't have been 6 months to a year get married to the next chick.
Oh God. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I meant by, like, I feel like a lot of times men, our bad date is to show our friends that, girl, I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Hot girl summer coming up. I think that's where we be coming from. I think men mask their hurt by what's that saying? The way to get over somebody is to get up underneath somebody else. I feel like men, and I'm saying this because this has been my experience. I've been with somebody that just got out of a fresh divorce and convinced me that they wanted something special with me. And there were problems throughout out that. More so because, like we've discussed, that particular person didn't spend time by themselves. They didn't get over the trauma of all the things that went on in their marriage. And basically, they brought all that bullshit from their marriage into our relationship.
Now, to bring that all that Kitty said down into layman terms for some of you hard knucklehead as fellas out there, what she is saying is you don't like to go to bed without some warm lying next to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
And
it
I'm
is.
not gonna put it all on men. There are some women who are like that too. I mean, shit, some women do that after a relationship. So like I'm not just putting it all on men. I'm just speaking from experience. Drinker said didn't have a paper, but after 7 years together, it was divorce. The house had to go up for sale, bank accounts had to be split, how to co-parent for the kids, and just so much. He didn't want to split, but for the last 3 years, we realized we had grown in two different directions. Currently, we are really good friends. That's awesome. I love to hear stories like that. I really do, because sometimes when you hear about divorce is so nasty. The wife want I want to take everything, nigga, most of the time. And it's a nasty battle. The kids get involved. You know, I've had friends who went through nasty divorces between their parents. It affected their school grades. It affected their you know what I'm saying? It takes a fold on everybody, especially if you've already established a happy family front.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. I've seen it. And it just seems like it becomes a tit for tat in a majority of situations. Oh, he got a new girlfriend. Well, I'm gonna keep the kids from him. My babies can't be around that bitch. And then here we go. We gotta go right back to court because we don't know how to co-parent on our own. We gotta get the white folks involved. You know what I'm saying? So it's real good to hear that, Drika, for real, because a lot of people do not know. They don't know how to function after divorce.
That's very, very, very true. Unfortunately.
So let's say because, and I'm asking you because you've been through a divorce. What were the cons and pros, would you say?
There's no pros in divorce.
Say that again. Say that again, nigga.
There's no pros in divorce on both sides. There's no pros in it whatsoever.
No pros.
They don't. They don't.
There's nothing positive. There's not an upside, you wouldn't say? Well, what about those people who are mature enough to know that it's time for us to go our separate ways? Let's get together and let's make this as peaceful as we possibly can. We do care about our kids, their mental health. Let's do this the easiest way possible. What about those people? You don't think there are any pros?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, because either way, it's still splitting up the dynamic. Even though you can try to keep it as fucking even as possible, but something's got to give. Because y'all don't stay with each other. There's two houses now.
No
matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
This my thought process. You can say what I mean. There's going to be differences in opinion. That's what I'll say.
Most definitely.
There's going to be differences in opinion, and you're going to have those anomalies because we all know that if there's anything, the stigmas that are placed on divorce are not positive, right? Let's be honest.
I feel like there's a little nook in there though. If y'all know for a fact it's not gonna work out, I really think that it is a pro. Or we can stay together and be toxic as fuck.
Those would be called anomalies.
Okay.
Because normally divorces don't end well. When the norm is to say that, when they say normally divorces don't end well, what that means is like what you're talking about are anomalies.
Okay.
In what the norm is. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Drika said, facts, Kiddy. No lie, the first 2 years I did what you said. Once I seen how my kids was being affected, we needed to change. Right. Drika is confirmation that there are people out there that they can let's do this a peaceful way. You know what I'm saying? Let's go separate ways in peace, not being enemies.
It took her
Let's
how
try
long
to
to
make
figure
this
that out?
a healthy environment, because at that point, what's the level? She said, let me go back up. They were together for 7 years.
And it took, she said it took her 2 years to figure out
to figure out that it was affecting their kids. They was gonna try to correct me if I'm wrong, Draco, but they was gonna try to work it out for the kids to be together. But I think they found out that it was better for them to be apart for the kids. Is what she's trying to say. I do believe.
Oh, okay.
She also said you have to respect to communicate through those hard understandings, even if you live in 2 different houses.
Right.
What was the hardest part for you after divorce? What was the hardest part? Would you say being in a foreign place Not
No,
waking up to your kids and your wife every day.
nah, it was just everything revolved around my kids. That's all everything was around in my, that's all I cared about.
Right.
I
What was
didn't care
best for the
about,
babies.
I didn't care about how I was living, where I was living, what I was doing. It was just whatever
About the babies.
that they just was my focus. That's just
Right.
me. I don't know how I saw. Well, I'll say this: I did see, you know, because it's made a lot of friends and lost a lot of friends with being like in father's rights and shit, and being a counselor in there and shit for a little bit, and then um, just being in different type of groups, talking to different dudes and shit. You see what goes on, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen situations, but each guy that I've seen, everybody handles things different. It may be like a somewhat of a similar pattern. The divorce didn't go well or something like that. But for the majority of the guys that was around me, it did. It was like revolving around the kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what I saw mostly. You know what I'm saying? I did see those dudes that they didn't have a real bad divorce. It was just like they just had to work around some shit. And then I seen dudes who just lost everything, and even those dudes would be like more worried about what the fuck was happening with the kids, because no matter what the sentiment is on men and children and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, most dudes give a fuck about they fucking seeds, you know what I'm saying? They just don't give a fuck about you no
Mm,
more. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And here's how you know, because if they didn't, why would it be so much of a fuss for dudes when if they find out that the baby ain't his? You see what I'm
ooh,
saying?
ooh.
It's because he's trying to prolong his bloodline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in prolonging your bloodline, only your DNA is gonna fucking accept certain shit from you.
Right.
That's just being real. You know what I'm saying? Only your DNA is gonna accept certain shit from you. So I've said this before when it comes to men and women and marriage and shit. Like, kids, they need the nurturing and everything from the mother, but they do need their father, because their father is looking at, and the mother can look at it too a lot of times, but you got to have that father side, because he recognizes shit in his blood that he said, hey, this might have happened in my house when I was growing up, but it
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna happen in mine.
Right.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
And she can do that same thing, but it's gonna only be up to a certain point. The majority of the time, I'm watching that happen right now with a cousin of mine. You know what I'm saying? With my cousin's kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? They getting She got boys. You know what I'm saying? They getting older, and boys sometimes, it just depends. I'm not gonna
Ain't
go
no
all into it, but
sometimes. They need their daddy.
oh yeah, no. That's where I'm headed. You're right. They need a daddy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Boys do, and girls. Kids need a daddy. Kids need a mama,
Mm-hmm. Drika the
because
boss said, I agree partially with you, 4-5. Expound on that, Drika.
kids need a
We
mama
might need
too.
to bring Drika up in here.
We might need to.
Where you
Um,
at, Drika? You at work? It don't matter. I'm finna shoot you the what you call them. Let Big Drika come in here and speak.
but I just think that but like a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we just miss that point, period.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not always that the guy needs to be in the picture, because sometimes there are some evil bastards out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes what you might think is this motherfucker being an evil bastard wasn't him being an evil bastard.
Right.
He saw some shit that he wasn't gonna let go on no more in his family. And as soon as he see that shit, and sometimes it comes out rough. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it does come out rough. And it just depends on the guy that you're dealing with and what he dealt with in his past, you know what I'm saying, on how he raises his kids and shit. Like, you know,
Drake, check Discord. If
there
you can
may
come
be
in,
some
pull
things
up.
where he jumps in and he says, "Hey, nah, this can't go." You know what I'm saying? And other, you know, and
Hello, Sharon.
I'm not saying that it's it because it's not hard. It's not hard to get into a kid if you fucking paying attention to him. You know what I'm saying? But it is hard if that kid know or has an inkling or you know what I'm saying. If they know you really ain't no matter because you could put a lot into them. You know, shit.
I got a question.
Hmm.
We talked about this on last week on our last show. How much did you put into your solo ship? You're still single now, right?
Yeah, I put everything into my solo ship. Everything.
When's the last time that you've had a real relationship? We got
What?
Drinker in this thing. Hey,
What?
Drake.
What's up? What's up? So glad. Thank you, guys.
What's happening?
So you were saying in the comments that you partially agree with 4-5.
I,
I want you to
I
expound on it.
So what I agreed on was the part when he said that the father is needed. And a lot of times what people I feel think is anatomy is not. Because all of the people I know that have trained me, my mom was a very good example of co-parent with divorce. Her and my father was together since they were 15.
Oh, wow.
Okay? They were together since they 15. They dated. They had me when they were, my mama was 18 and my daddy's 2 years older. So I got to see a bit of the part where they clash because we weren't allowed to be around my daddy's women and stuff like that. And my mother seen the effect, especially with we're his daughters. I loved my daddy. I wanted to go see him. I didn't care about him and my mama's little BS. It was like, how come daddy ain't coming to the games no more? Why he ain't, rolling through? And we started voicing that and crying. And my mom was like, what she was taught obviously must not work. So she tried something new and it just so happened to work. She opened herself up to know the women that was gonna leave with my father and us. So she knew she was really friendly with them and she didn't get them no hassle. And I was grateful for that because actually it took my mother 4 years to get to that point. Her and my father, it was terrible those first 4 years of their divorce. Matter of fact, to be honest, they didn't get divorced. They just separated, but they were still married, living in 2 separate houses. So my mother was married. They lived in 2 separate houses. They separated for 7 years before the divorce came. And then when the divorce came, by that time, we had already established a better co-parenting function. We had my daddy knew that, hey, you could come pick us up from grandma's house, anybody's house, come get your kids, take them however, 2 days, whatever. My mama had got to the point where she would drop us off at his mistress' house. Here you go, his kids. She would wait for us to ring that bell, watch, wait to make sure the bitch came to the door and be like, gone. Out of here.
Wow.
Out of here. If she had already met that woman and knew how that woman functioned, that woman had respect that, hey, these are the rules that come with my kids. Anything with you and him is you and him. So I feel like, just like folks I was saying, the father is needed. And he's highly needed, both for good and bad. Because of my own experience, I have 2 baby daddies to my kids. The second one just isn't, he just ain't right. And I ain't going to back and forth shit, like, at all. But the first one, he's the one that I was with the longest. I did the 7 years. Like, it was like a whole fucking marriage. And he was just like, it don't make sense, but we made these decisions. We about to put people out here in this world that's going to be affected, and whoever they partner be will be affected.
Right.
So we purposely like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what my problem is with your chick. I'm gonna tell you what my problem is with your family. And he would tell me, what he can respect in that or not. And that's how we would move and make adjustments as we kept going. But the main objective, I wanted him to be there. I don't want you to be, oh, this the bitter baby mama. I ain't got shit to be bitter about. We just didn't work out. We developed differently, and in those 7 years, and what he wanted and what I wanted didn't match anymore.
I'm gonna ask you what I asked 4-5. What was and this is coming from a female's perspective. What was the hardest thing after divorce? What really, really like probably would took you out, but you survived that shit?
I think the emotion. I was so, as a woman, we go through our emotions like in the silent, in the dark, especially black women. For me, and I'm independent. We kind of like go off in the back and like try to do that shit on our own. But for him, it was more like he was kind of like acting like it wasn't gonna happen, like it was gonna bypass and get better. And when it didn't, by the time he realized it, we had already been out the game 3 years. 3 years before he was realized, like, damn, we ain't coming back from this. We not about to. This is it.
Right.
So I think it's the emotional maturity that for like a lot of times, because men don't always want to go through every emotion. I know predominantly with black men, they can express anger, and then depending on who the woman is, they'll express that love. But all the other emotions that's out there, I never see them experience it for real.
4-5, you told me if I was able to find somebody that you had some questions for them. Do you remember?
Yeah. I already got questions.
Okay.
I got many questions.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Kiddy.
Yeah. I got plenty of questions.
What's your question?
The first question that you asked somebody who am I supposed to be asking this to? Okay.
You told me if we can find a woman that has gone through divorce, you had some questions for her.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Let me ask you. Okay. So you've gone through divorce. Okay. Let me ask you this. Have you dated a guy who's been divorced? And if so, how long? Okay. How long after? Like, how long did y'all date after he got divorced?
So I've had a couple experiences because I date. So I don't date. I had to put rules on it because when it comes to men, it is different. It's just different. We're not the same. I won't date a man who hadn't been separated from his wife for a minimum of 2 or 3 years, because them first 2 or 3 years of separation is a whole bunch of bickering, back and forth ass shit. I ain't got time. I don't want to be in y'all mix. So if y'all ain't at that 2 or 3 year mark, that fresh, I just left my wife 6 months ago, you keep leaving her. I'll be cool with you. We can, conversate, be on some friend stuff, but I can't take you serious until you reach 2 to 3 years. Because, especially if you got kids. Because that was another rule. If they got kids, and the age of the kids affected
shit. See, I can't be lying.
So
now,
for me, I did that. I had many rules with married men.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Single ladies, make sure y'all listening out there. Especially those of you who've never been through a marriage.
The 2 to 3 year gap after divorce for men, this is what I call the fresh scab.
Okay.
It can easily get ripped and let some pus out at any time. It might get all over whoever the hell's around.
True.
It may be trying to harden up. Whatever the case is, it's still the fresh scab. Okay? That's what I call that 2 to 3 year gap. Now, let me say that. Would you or would you not agree? A gentleman who has been passed, a gentleman or a thug, whatever you fuck with, has been past,
Prefer the
uh,
intimate.
okay, who's been past the 2 to 3 year mark, right?
Mhm.
Because there's another stage of this shit.
It is
And,
another stage. It is
and
another stage.
and it has to deal with
Him.
an internal healing,
Mm.
right? Not only of himself, because he's got to start understanding himself.
I feel okay. I can agree with that because after them 2-3 years, you now as a woman, I have to evaluate. Did he learn? Has he worked on himself? Is he healed? Or what happened in that relationship about to spew on me? So I ask communication questions. What happened? Why did it happen? Whoever fault it was, if you can't explain it, it's still a problem.
Right.
So I'm gonna go on and leave you alone on the side because you can't explain what the problem was, whether it was her fault or his fault. You can't communicate it, which means that I'm about to spend time trying to get something out your ass that I didn't want to put
You ain't
the
gonna
work
never
in.
get one. You ain't gonna never get right.
Facts, you could go a long time before even getting it.
And
With
two,
lies and deceit.
you still dealing with some leftover. What's that dude say? Say that emotional damage.
Mm-hmm.
You still
But
did
true.
he's still dealing with that type shit, right? Now,
I don't really deal with the married men anymore. It's too much that come with them.
no, whoa. We've been talking about just divorced men. I didn't say
Well,
shit about married men.
okay.
You just sold
So
yourself out. You just sold yourself out.
okay,
Now,
so
I
I
didn't
messed
do
with some
that.
of those. So let me explain that, because yes. So when I say the married men, most of the time they be in the midst of a divorce, or they have been separated for a certain amount of time, and they claim that as, oh well, I'm being divorced or whatever. No, you still married. You still married.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm not just talking about when I agree with it. I'm talking about on both sides. That's men and women, right? That support that
Ooh,
separated
that's a
shit.
good one right there.
Somebody got a
That comment.
question for y'all in the comment. I'm
That's a good one.
learning today, y'all. I ain't never been married. I ain't never been divorced. So I'm just sitting back learning.
Y'all think y'all can be?
So
So
what's the
y'all think
question?
it can't be one person that makes it all go bad?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It can be. It can be one person, but it takes two to tango a lot of times. But it's definitely can be one sided on why things separated apart.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? But it takes a lot in you just to admit, hey,
This was
it was
wrong.
me. Like me,
And right.
I'll tell you flat out, it was me.
I was just about to ask you. So within y'all marriages, how much of the responsibility do y'all take for it?
You heard me say that on this show though.
Right.
I
Drika.
take the responsibility of how I responded to what he was communicating. Instead of, I figured that like we had already been together 5 years. It's certain shit that I didn't feel like we got to keep revisiting,
Right.
redoing. It's like, if you're actually actively learning me, why don't you know this? Why don't you
Right.
know that this is a trigger? Why don't you know that this is a
Especially
problem?
after 7 years. Like, come on now, nigga.
And see, my case was different. Like the whole 7 years, that's not dating. That was, we were together. Everything we had in those 7 years was combined like married people. Like, I didn't even know, even when my mother did tell me, like, don't get a house together and you're not, paper married. But it was the same shit. I still had to split the house, sell a house, and split the money.
Mm-hmm.
I still had to do the same shit. Bank accounts we had to go have, but we wanted to be mature enough and not go to court because we didn't want those percentages out.
Right. That's called divorce though. That's just called divorce. We're not going all into that. That's not where I'm trying to go into. Calm down.
I understand.
Yeah, let's calm down. Like my son used to say, calm down,
Well,
daddy.
she just answering a question.
No, I got what she's saying, but it's okay. It's all right. Listen, we talking about like, because I'm just coming at it from a male standpoint, and we might need to have you back on the show so you can tell us from the female standpoint, right? because I'm glad you are pointing out things, because I said some of these things to Kitty, and Kitty was like, and now you
I love
saying it, and
Kitty.
it's so much validation.
But
Okay.
Kitty be on point though too with
Yeah,
a
she
lot of
do.
stuff. Like
She
from the
do.
female perspective, we
Yeah.
are going through that because we're different. Men and women are different. That whole be equal shit, we were never equal to begin with. You
Right.
can't do what I do, just like I can't really do what you do. Now I could do similar shit like you, but I can't do what you do, and you can't do what I do. If that was the case, then I wouldn't even be looking towards you in the first place. Cause I could do it. I could do it.
That's facts. Right. So in the range after the scab years, right? In that range, what do you think? What about is like the average? Do you think you find a gentleman who is? It, I don't think you can ever be fully, but I'll say this: who you can say is at least 85% or better into his healing, and he's okay to move on. Where do you think the year range is after that?
After those 2-3 years, again, men are different. I feel like if you
Say
are okay with, depending on how his healing journey is and what he got to heal from, the next 2 to 3 years is another form of healing process. I ask questions. I want to know how you feel about your partner. If you start spewing off hateful shit, back, homie, you not healed. Because everything you saying is so hateful and it's pointing the blame. You not saying that, yeah, she was out at 2 a.m., but I slapped the bitch before she did it. You feel me? You not saying those things that you just, well, she been cheating with men. Okay, but what gave her there? Because the women I know, my experience with women has always been loyal and core loyal to men. The moment that you show that I will provide or protect for you, they will give you so much loyalty, it's ridiculous.
that's
And men
true.
take that loyalty in those beginning times of dealing with a woman, and they're just throwing that shit around. Like, I. And then
Okay.
when she's fed up, she ready to go. But now he don't realize, like, damn, I kind of like that babe did X.
Baby, baby,
How was my
please.
day?
Baby,
You know?
baby, please.
And he be like, oh, do you want
Yeah.
to go through that? You got to ask yourself. These are all things you got to go through. You got to
This
know
is
what
getting good.
baggage you can have.
This is
Right.
getting really good, obviously,
So,
because they in the comments. Right
so
quick. I want
okay.
to go here before we go further. Lakila says, why does the man blame the next woman for the women that mistreated him? Why do other women have to deal with that, with what that other woman done?
Good question, baby, because I was headed there.
Okay.
So, listen, I'm trying to get this through because we only got an hour. So
I
I'm trying
guess
to get
that moment is with y'all.
okay. I'm trying to get to this point right here. I'm trying to add to what she's saying
Come on.
because there is a healing process in them years. So you talking about a dude that after divorce, you looking at a range from at least about
2 to 3
three,
years.
at least 3 to 6 years of
Oh,
healing and getting
fact,
over the fact of being divorced.
fact. I can
This is
agree.
just men process. This is what I'm saying. Because some guys, you will admit
The
this, right?
process
Some
longer. The
some
process
guys
longer with
process a
some.
lot longer. Some guys that take 10, 15, they may not ever get over it, right? It's just
Fact.
real. And all along the way, every woman that they dealt with, you can see where they was along in their progress of dealing with they whole healing, but they ain't never been the same. You'll see
Yep.
it. You can see it in the women that they dated after they've been divorced. You can
Fact.
see it.
You do. For men, it's in there. I like to ask, what was the last girl like? Tell me about your past.
That's kind of like what Jafar is saying, Lakila, if you still on here. He says similar personality traits is why I would say a man treats another woman like the last woman. It may be and it may not even be those similar traits. It
It's
may
what he
just be
likes.
something that triggered him that she
It's a
did.
trigger of what he's like. I dated a married man. I like to hold my partner. Like that's just like, but I'm very particular on it. I only really like to do it when we're sleeping. All out in public, I'm busy. I move. I don't like that shit. But when I mess with a person who had been through a divorce, had kids, and he was just like, oh, well, you know, he was used to his wife. They slept a certain way. They laid a certain way. Oh, baby, we're going to have to stop that. Because I'm not sleeping that way. I'm not, even if it is something that I like, because that I know it's from another woman, I need you to know that when I don't want to do it, it shouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be a problem, because then I'm going to be, okay, you think I'm the other bitch. You going to start talking and responding to me like the other bitch. So I make conscious decisions like, oh, okay. You and her used to do what? A trip every month? Oh, okay, no, baby. No, we going to do weekday, since you had weekend trips. Like, I'm serious.
Right.
I be changing shit up on them because
Right.
we're different. We're just
Right.
different. Because for me as a woman, those times in my divorce when I knew at the 1 year of constantly working at it that I was going to leave them. I knew after the first year. I just was in it because my family, who is all married people, oh, you should work it out. Work past it. Give it time. Well, baby, our baby had made 5 years old, and I was like, look, it's just not enough time. I can't keep giving up time. I can't get that back. I can't get it back. So we had an honest to hard heart. Like, what is it that you want? Where you see yourself in 5 years? And if it didn't match up, we got to be okay with the fact that this shit just don't match up for us.
Right. I know you said you ain't have but 5 more minutes. Jafar said, what I've experienced is if you show that loyalty, they will take advantage of you because either they're not used to it or they don't believe that it's real.
Fact. They don't believe it's genuine. They don't.
Right. Rolo said both sexes can carry baggage from previous relationships if they have not healed. That's why it's so important. We talked about this last week.
This is why we're gonna have her on next week when we talk about it from the female perspective. But you can't just, it's not over with, baby, because I got a lot of things to say. There's just a lot of you women out here.
Look, I be watching y'all shit. I look. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
You can't keep a man now.
It's a lot of you women out there that sit up there and y'all play this game like, you know, like, well, I think a lot of women come from it from a perspective, because you're very, very insightful for what you're saying. Because this is where I was trying to go with Kiddy on this shit. Like, you got to really examine the dude where he is after a divorce, but you also you have to examine how long he was married to this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And where he was at in all that.
A major role.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
his ex was married within a year of their divorce.
Them high school sweethearts,
Oh,
they need older time.
No,
they need so much time
with the relationship.
They need so much time. They need just as much time as they was
because
in
that's all they used to.
They need out of.
Right. That's
if
all
they
they used to.
Her 15 years, I need 15 years of separation before I could take you serious. Because it was yes, people I know. They've been together since they were in high school, and now they're grown as hell. Yeah. And now, even with, I started dating up. I'm 35 years old. I started dating men that were at least 45 years or older. And they have already experienced divorce, and they got them kids. And I hear about the wives, and I'm just like, hold up, fam. You was with her how long? Oh, okay. You need a little bit more time because I don't want to hear about her. You're older. You should have. It's a thing, such thing as how soon is too soon. Some shit you're supposed to do it sooner so that you can better accommodate yourself later in life when you're faced with it. If you in high school, we've been together since high school, it's a problem. You ain't experienced new people. You ain't experienced different communication. It's a lot of shit that you will naturally lack. You only know one type maybe, or you might know previous, but that one that's been there is all that you know. You forget. You forget about the other shit. So then you sitting around here like, well, what is it that the woman likes now? What does she want to do? Where she want to go? No, everything is going to be like, I want this man. But for the man, it's going to be like, well, shit, we broke up. He doing him. He going to do him. Now, he might come back if he don't like what he got out there. But I feel like if you had experienced some of this shit early on, you could have saved your time and had better discernment when you're later in life. So you're not gonna get that.
So
and just like
hold
Coach
on,
was
time
saying,
out,
it should have
time
an
out.
Oh
Listen,
Lord.
okay, come on back to it.
Come on,
Let's
Coach.
get back to space.
Go
Because
ahead.
I'm not done. I'm not done, baby.
Oh my
I'm not done,
God.
baby.
We
Listen to me
can't
now.
express this enough.
I'm
Like
listening.
Elegant said, have to heal
So
before moving on. We can't express that
yeah.
enough.
Fact.
So
Fact.
hold on. So you're 35 and you like to go after them 45 and older.
Well, I'm 39 and I like older men.
Okay,
Hold
so I'm
on.
gonna tell
You
you
wait a
why.
second.
No,
Time out, both of y'all.
statistically,
Whoa a
you're supposed
second.
to. Women are.
Whoa a second. Whoa a second.
We coming for you, 4-5. We coming for you.
Whoa a second. I'm about to get on that ass.
Come on, 4-5.
So y'all been chasing older poles since you was young tender things, and y'all admitting it.
They
I'm
were
glad
chasing
y'all
me.
admit it.
They were
Because
chasing
some of
me.
these dudes out here is in trouble for messing with some young tenderonis,
Oh
and
my
y'all know that y'all
God.
be chasing.
No,
Don't do
first
that.
off,
Don't do that.
if you
Don't do
go
it.
statistically,
We grown
women
ass
should
women.
date peer to peer. Women and men, you should date peer to peer. It's not your age. So if you are a woman, your man should be 7 years older than you because technically that is your mental peer. And a man should date 7 years younger. Because that's why y'all be thinking, oh, we don't have submissive women. Because she's 7 years younger, what you want. And what we want is 7 years older that comes with maturity. It comes with emotional. It comes with experience. It comes with you know what you're getting into. I can ask the questions and get an answer. That's
Ah,
So,
what that means.
so,
get him.
yeah,
Get him.
hit the button, hit the button.
I can't with y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
Hola.
Ma'am, how
Yes.
long you been watching the show?
Since I met Kitty, so
It's been about 2 months.
I
Oh,
was
so you've been part of this 4-5ism, huh? Yeah, I see. I done rubbed off on somebody. I got to take some of this because these are pages right out of my book, baby. So y'all been chasing that old pole for a long time, and this is all I need.
Correction. The pole been chasing us. Come on.
No, ma'am.
I
No,
swear
ma'am.
fat.
She said something different, Kitty, and you can't take it back because it's recorded live on TV.
I got it.
She said something different, and you can't take it back. Now you might be somebody different, and you might be having somebody chasing you every now and then. But we know you, Kitty. All of us that's watching you know you. And
So
we know
don't
that
be.
you be chasing that pole like a motherfucker when you want to. Anyway,
I don't chase,
listen now.
baby. I attract. Stop playing with me.
Listen now.
Come on.
Listen now. Let's
Read some
calm
of these
down.
comments.
Let's okay. Read a comment. God damn it.
Rolo said my wife died and I'm out here now and it's hard.
Braulio, were you
So
able to
it's
get those dresses for me?
I was married for 22
Yeah.
years,
Okay.
so used
Thank you.
to so used to so much and set in my ways.
Setting his ways. Yeah.
If you feel convicted about your movements with the other person, you have not healed yet. Jafar says, but if it wasn't for my divorce, I would not be sitting here. And that's what I'm saying. There are some pros in divorce. He said, but if it weren't for my divorce, I would not be sitting here with this beautiful 1.5-year-old baby boy.
Yeah. See?
Shout out to
So
Rashida. We ain't seen you in a minute, child.
I
Um,
said before that yeah, you're gonna have anomalies and then you're gonna have good outcomes from a lot of things. But listen, all I've just been saying this whole time about the divorce is that men have a time of healing that we must go through. And there ain't nothing wrong with admitting it.
That's
I'm as
facts.
red pill as you can fucking be. I am the one who created the red pill. God damn it. So I will tell you that we have a period of time that we have to heal. And women, some of you evil little god damn it. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about and y'all know what I'm speaking of. And y'all have been riding on these stereotypes of men because it's beneficial to you because once you run into a man who's fully healed, you can't pierce his armor, and that's what attracts you to his ass. That's
No.
what attracts you to him. Yeah, because you can't
Mm-mm.
pierce his armor. Yeah,
First off, we don't
yeah,
try
yeah,
to
yeah.
pierce their armor.
Oh, oh, I
We
A
didn't
don't.
say.
That's
real woman,
it.
a real woman's not gonna try.
A
Hey,
real
hold on.
woman is not trying to
Didn't
pierce the armor.
No,
didn't
because
hold
I
on,
want to be
ladies,
soft.
ladies,
I want my soft
ladies,
era.
ladies. Did I not say some of you? And I started to say dirty bitches, but I'm trying to be respectful.
Oh my god.
And y'all heard me. Now, if y'all, and I know neither one of y'all with the way y'all talking, because neither one of y'all, if y'all notice, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, neither one of these have said nigga the entire time they've been talking.
No, we have
So this
not.
has been very truthful.
Hmm.
This has been very truthful. They've been speaking from the heart, both of them. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, all I've been trying to talk about is how fucking detrimental it is for a man to be able to heal after a divorce. And sometimes it's some dirty, trifling bitches along the way that fuck him up even
But you know
further
what? You
because
supposed to
he
have
ain't
those.
healed it. Huh?
You supposed to have
What's that?
those. I don't understand why everybody think everything's supposed to be. You supposed to have those because whatever the problem was for why the other relationships didn't work, they gonna come
I
back.
told
It's a
you,
cycle.
Kitty.
You
I
supposed
told
to.
you. I told
So
you
I
supposed to
know
have some run throughs. You
you
supposed to.
are. You are.
Guys are now. You not because you a woman and because you can't have everything running through you and you shouldn't be the trifling bitch. This is all I'm trying to
No,
say.
no.
This
Yes, you
has been the
should be the
difference.
trifling. Yes, you should.
Why?
Because some of you men want to get that experience. If one, the whole thing is, look, I probably had been that trifling person you talking about,
Ah,
in one of my lives.
previous.
But I
Okay.
had to because of what I was cycling coming for with me. I knew what was being sent my way. I knew that my creator, the universe, was sending these people my direction and it was gonna be a problem. And they felt like, oh, okay, well, you know what, since the last dude you stayed with him such and such time and with all
Okay.
his BS, why you can't stay with me? Cause I ain't. Cause
Mm,
I ain't. That's
mm.
why. When I say I'm done, I'm done. It don't take me 7 years to leave now. I give you one. I give you
Elegance,
one.
Elegance Beauty and Boutique LLC. Shout
Because
out
you,
to.
hey, whoa! Before you get to going all down there, the reason why
Y'all
you
know
only
I
get.
gotta go.
Yeah, I know you got to go. I love you for being on the show, by the way. But
No, bro.
the reason why you only give them one is because you dating them sweet pappy dicks that's a little
Oh
bit older
my
than you, baby.
God!
No.
Thank you, Drinker. We appreciate you
Bye,
for
y'all.
popping in. Ain't nobody got time for 4-5 bullshit today. Shout out to my family.
We
We
winning out here.
as y'all see, I got some fabulous fucking people on my team. I am part of a social family. If y'all would like to join or even just check us out, see what we got going on, how we roll, y'all go over to giftednation.com and we are accepting applications for new members as well. But back to the subject at hand. She said it, we had already confirmed it, but I wanted to acknowledge her comment. She said those women build character. You have to go through some shit. And I think, and even with that, I say that's another pro with divorce. That person taught you a lesson. It may even be the biggest lesson. So,
Absolutely.
I see. I think it's so balancing for us to see the good and the bad in everything, y'all. We always count our losses, but add the wins in too, y'all. And sometimes you will see that the glass is not half empty; it's actually half full. Want to get that gem out to y'all. Elegance Beauty and Boutique said, "Not all relationships will be guns and roses."
Right. That's true.
My founder
That's
said,
true.
"I'm praying for y'all."
Some of
Um,
some of some of the relationships is gonna be lollipops and sugar drops, and some relationships is gonna be shit, piss, and vinegar.
oh
But you
yeah.
got to keep on moving.
Right. Keep it pushing. Rolo said, why do women doing all these demands, but you want the man to be the leader? It's too much of a power struggle.
What demands am I? What can I Can I get a
He
repeat?
he made that comment may have been back when we were talking about something else.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Because I don't think I was demanding no responsibilities out of nobody. I was just telling women that you
no,
gotta.
he's saying that that obviously that women are making big demands when the man is supposed to be the leader. It's too much of a power struggle. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Well, they part of that, yeah, that's true, Rolo. But another part of it is what this show has been about this whole time, and it's been about men after divorce or after long relationships and how long they need to take time to fucking heal. Them
It's
first
going
three.
back to what we was talking about last week with that solo ship. I'm so glad these shows are right, like lining up right behind each other, because like it just confirms some of the things that we dropped the week before that. I'm appreciative. Shout out to Drika the boss. She a busy woman. She's a business owner. She busy all day long. So I want to thank her for dropping everything just to come through and drop a couple of gems. If
Absolutely.
whether you're single or divorced out there, I want you to know that there is life after. There's life after. And the biggest thing I think that we discussed before we even decided to do this show is, y'all, if you come across somebody, make sure you know how long it's been since, if they're somebody who's coming out of a fresh marriage, give that person time. Give that person time. They're not ready. They are not ready.
And even if and now that you know, knowing is half the battle, and ignorance is on purpose. Because here's where it all ends on all of that, especially for the ladies. If you can identify where they are now within that 3 to 6 year gap, it depends on who y'all are. Because I know sometimes you'll wait, and that says a lot about the strength of that lady who, hey, I was here on in this stage of him after the divorce, and I stayed on and I kept on going, and you know what I'm saying, and it builds shit. You might have it may be a whole character building thing between the both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And she becomes stronger as he becomes stronger, right? But
Give or take.
right, it can be a give or take. But let's also acknowledge the fact that you just may just be the bump stop in the road for this go round. Go find you another one. You've
So
been po-
would it be okay to say, like, y'all, when y'all out here dating, don't take things too serious too fast.
not too fast.
Don't take things too serious too fast. Like, date. And that's what I be telling ladies. I know a lot of dudes be thinking I'm just out here telling ladies, girl, fuck all the niggas. No, I'm telling you to date all of them. Date them. Date all of them. There's nothing wrong with dating. There's a difference between dating and fucking.
You trying to get him? You always trying to
Shut
set
up.
somebody up to get
Thank
robbed.
you, Rolo. Rolo said right, Kitty. Jafar said I appreciate you, Kitty and 45 for having this show. I think me and Kitty became friends from her cousins from Stamps online homeboys up there in Seattle. Probably so. Probably so. Yeah, the Madison boys is in Seattle. Well, the Madison's period is in Seattle hard. Take your time and get to know the person. Why don't you take time and get to know you? It's
There you
easy.
go.
It's easy to get to know somebody else once you know you, because you know what you finna deal with, what you not finna deal with, and you set boundaries. I think I'm in that era of my life where I'm setting boundaries, and this is what that is. And if you don't like it, get the fuck on. I'm not losing shit.
But I think for a man, once you find yourself, whoever that is for you is gonna mesh into that. You ain't gonna have to figure them out.
Queasy, you
It,
like cougar pussy? We was trying to keep this show right. We was trying to keep this show rated, rated PG. He said I'm 26 and my baby mama 33.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing
That's
wrong
why
with
y'all stay
that.
away from
Hello.
these young niggas, y'all girls. If you an older woman and you go to fucking with these young niggas, stay away from that. That's that fresh good calm. It's waiting waiting to bust your eggs wide open. I know
I keep
myself.
trying to
I'm
tell
almost.
y'all, you better give a team cut balls, baby. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all
These
ain't
are
listening.
young boys, though. Like when you gotta fucking with young niggas, that's that fresh shit. That shit ready to bust an egg wide open and make a baby.
Did you hear what?
Rolo.
Did you hear what Drika said? You need to be getting your ass out there and chasing that old pole like you need to,
Uh,
because the young one ain't got it for you. The young one is
if
gonna
you
get you
just
lined up with
need
10 more kids.
if you just need a wild night, like strap up and get you one. They backs is good. Rolo said, I know myself. I'm almost 51, so I know me and what I need. I had
All right.
a child at 50. He is 7 months. When this happened, Rolo?
God damn it, Rolo. When did this happen?
We're gonna have to talk to Rolo off the show. This nigga said I got high quality sperm. Obviously, nigga.
This fool said I'm HQS. Fuck that. He said, fuck that goddamn team cut ball, nigga. I'm HQS,
Oh
nigga.
my God, Rolo, this is new. He said, congratulations, but damn, I thought I had started all. Y'all can have it. Fuck these kids. Before we get out of here, 4-5, is there anything else you'd like to say?
When next we meet, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get on to the male side of things and what we need to recognize in these old divorced hussies out here. Y'all know what it is. I love y'all. I want you to love yourself.
Okay.
This has been a production brought to you by Kiddy Pink motherfucking Radio. You know what it is.
Okay, Rolo, you definitely soaring, you spreading your wings out here, nigga. I just want to say, y'all, these shows are not for nothing. These shows are most definitely. I really hope, and I hope that we're making our mark in the culture. I really hope so, and I hope that y'all take everything, and I really hope there's healing. The purpose of this show was to bridge the gap between our communication and even to learn how to communicate effectively. And just from us doing this show, me and 4-5 have learned a tremendous amount of things, and our perspectives have been molded. So I just really I appreciate everybody that tune in every Wednesday at 12. I appreciate all y'all that be in the comments, participating in the conversations and everything. Like, I just want y'all to know, I'm just at a point in my life where I'm just grateful for all the things that are happening, especially when it comes to my career. So thank y'all. We love you. We want you to love yourself. We got one more comment and then we finna get up out of here. Queasy said, age don't matter long as you over the adult age. Your coochie pink and your booty hole brown. It's a go. Bye, nigga. See, that's why y'all don't fuck with the young niggas, your 80s. We love y'all. We gonna see y'all next Wednesday. Same place, same time. We out, nigga.
A chair is still a chair. Even if it's no one sitting there. I don't think they're going to play this on Kiddy Pink Radio. Send yours in. They'll probably play yours. It's your boy Big Rip, the thing, the culture professor. We in the streets, never industry. Kiddy Pink Radio.